Alright, let's get straight into this one. Today we are pulling back the curtain on something you have almost certainly noticed but probably never fully understood. We're talking about how completely ordinary Americans, teachers, plumbers, warehouse managers, are somehow parking $70,000 trucks in their driveways every single morning. And we're going to show you exactly how a system built on financial illusions has convinced millions of regular people to destroy their own wealth, one monthly payment at a time. You know this person. Maybe it's your neighbor. Maybe it's someone at your office. Normal salary, normal life, but somehow rolling around in a lifted truck with chrome everything, a grill the size of a refrigerator, and a sticker price that exceeds the annual income of most American households. And you've done the math in your head. It doesn't add up. So what's actually going on? Well, it starts with a number that genuinely stopped me when I first saw it. The average monthly payment on a new vehicle in America has now crossed $735 a month. And that's the average. For trucks and SUVs, which have become the default vehicle for most buyers, payments routinely hit $900, $1,000, even $1,200 a month. On loan terms stretching to 7, 8, sometimes even 9 years. We are talking about financing packages that push total loan values past $80,000 on a vehicle that will be worth a fraction of that by the time it's paid off. So wages didn't suddenly double. Nobody's secretly rich. What happened instead is that the auto industry built an entire purchasing ecosystem designed around one single psychological trick, hiding the true cost of ownership inside a monthly number small enough to swallow. It starts at the dealership, in a small office with bad lighting and a guy in a slightly too tight dress shirt typing numbers into a computer. A $70,000 truck on a standard 4-year loan would cost you around $1,600 a month. Nobody in that showroom is agreeing to that. So the finance manager does something very simple. He stretches the loan. Pushes it to 6 years, payment drops to $1,150. Still too high. 7 years, now you're looking at $940. 8 years? Suddenly you're at $820 a month and the customer exhales and says, okay, I can work with that. And right there, in that exhale, the trap closes. Because what just happened is the dealer didn't make the truck cheaper. He made the pain smaller by spreading it further into your future. And that simple trick costs the buyer an extra $15,000 to $18,000 in pure interest that nobody talked about because the entire conversation was about the monthly number. People are so laser-focused on, can I handle this payment, that they completely stop asking, how much am I actually spending? And the industry has spent decades engineering the conversation to stay exactly there, on the monthly number, never on the total. But here's where it goes from expensive to genuinely inescapable. It's called negative equity and it is the engine that keeps people trapped in this cycle permanently. Cars depreciate fast. A new truck loses roughly 20% of its value the moment it leaves the lot. By year 3 of a 7-year loan, that $70,000 truck is worth maybe $36,000 on the open market. But the buyer still owes close to $50,000 on the loan. They are $14,000 underwater. And while we're here, let's kill the 0% financing myth permanently because dealerships love to wave this one around like it's a gift. Here is the reality. You either get the 0% interest rate, or you get the discount on the purchase price. You never get both. The cost of that so-called free money is embedded directly in the sticker price. The dealer isn't losing anything. He just moved the profit from the finance column into the vehicle price column and called it a promotion. And ironically, the only buyers who typically qualify for these promotional rates are people with high enough credit scores and enough financial stability that they could have just bought the car in cash anyway. The people who need the deal the most almost never get it. Let's put the complete picture on the table because nobody at the dealership is going to do this for you. A $70,000 truck on a 7-year loan at a standard interest rate. Add up the base price, the interest, 7 years of full coverage insurance which you are legally required to carry on a financed vehicle, fuel costs at current gas prices for a vehicle getting 16 miles per gallon, routine maintenance, tires, and brake jobs. A single brake job on a modern truck runs over $1,000 today. The total cash that flows out of your life to own this one vehicle over 7 years lands somewhere around $145,000 to $150,000. At the end of those 7 years, the truck is worth approximately $16,000 to $18,000. You spent $148,000. You have an asset worth $17,000. That is not transportation. That is wealth destruction with a warranty. So the obvious question is, why do people keep doing this? These aren't foolish people. They're your neighbors, your coworkers, people who balance budgets and raise families. How does this keep working? Because the auto industry doesn't sell trucks anymore. They sell identity. Decades of marketing have tied vehicle ownership to self-worth so deeply that questioning someone's car payment doesn't feel like financial advice. It feels like a personal attack. The truck isn't transportation, it's proof. Proof that you're successful, that you work hard, that you've made it. And when a $900 monthly payment starts to feel like an investment in your own identity rather than a drain on your financial future, the math stops matching. The industry figured this out a long time ago. They don't show you a family worried about interest rates in their commercials. They show you a lone truck conquering a mountain at sunrise. The reality is that mountain is a parking lot. And the sunrise is a lease renewal. Here is the number that should genuinely keep you up at night. Take that $850 monthly payment. Don't give it to a dealership. Put it into a basic index fund at a historical average return of 8%. Do that for 7 years. You don't end up with a depreciating truck worth $17,000. You end up with $94,000 in actual wealth. Money that compounds, money that grows, money that works for you instead of for the dealer's finance department. The choice isn't between a nice truck and a boring car. The choice is between $94,000 in your future and a worn-out vehicle in your driveway. Alright, let's bring this home. The next time you pull up next to that gleaming lifted truck at a red light, remember what you're actually looking at. You're looking at someone who is likely spending 25 to 30% of their take-home pay on a single depreciating asset. Someone who may be skipping vacations, skipping retirement contributions, and skipping the kind of financial breathing room that actually changes lives, all to sit a little higher in traffic. That reliable used car in your driveway isn't a sign you're falling behind. It's a sign you understand something most people don't. So I'll leave you with one question. Is your vehicle moving your financial future forward, or is it just moving you?